Hey everybody, welcome to Blunt Talk.
Welcome to Blunt Talk.
Hope y'all have had a good week. We in here. Let me share this to some of the platforms. Oh man, it's been a rough day for a sister.
Tell them what's going on.
Oh no,
we're gonna talk about this money right quick.
Okay.
You know, because we can't let that slide. You know, everybody, tuned in. Can I just talk?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can.
Is everybody tuned in today? We give y'all thanks for coming. But we still taking donations. If y'all want to do advertise y'all business, if you got one, you can contact us, and we'll definitely do have not interviews, but we definitely will have a commercial spot for you guys as we go live throughout the world. But we are taking donations. Please don't forget about that. If you want to contact us about doing a advertising your show, advertising what y'all do.
That's right.
Wherever y'all are, please give us a call. Give them that telephone number, Navita.
You can give us a call, right? You mean the calling line today?
Telephone number
614-556-4535.
And she will answer, and take your information and take your money too, because it do cost to do commercials, and it do cost for you to advertise on this station.
And our numbers are growing, so can you please make sure that you share. Tell a friend, because we do a lot of things in the community for young folks. And so your support will definitely be appreciated, and it'll be used wisely.
So I know y'all got the Gye-Nyame donation line. I know y'all got the Blunt Talk donation line. So, we're still looking for you guys to donate. Tell your friends. If you don't have the funds to donate, you might want to contact your friends.
Word.
Contact your friends and get them to donate. That's just like you donating if you don't have the funds. Because we are in need for those things to happen. Because if y'all want us to stay on the air, please donate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. If you want us to continue to give back, because like I said, we do lots of things. Like we did the Juneteenth community barbecue where everything is free and the food is top-notch, top of the line. And we have to come out of our pockets to put some of these things on for the community. We do rites of passage programs for young men and women. So we take them on camping trips. We teach them certain life skills. We also, we feed them, and we teach them different things to learn about nature, whether it be fishing. We teach math. We do tutoring. We do all of that type of thing. And we teach our young men how to be young men in today's time, and we teach our young ladies how to be young ladies in today's time. So please, your donations are not just for the show, but it's for the community. We do plenty of things in the community.
We sure do.
We are a grassroots organization. With that being said, let's get to it. Who wants to go first? Somebody got something in the current event or anything they want to discuss before we get really up and going?
I got one more thing to do, and then I got something. But somebody open it up. Come on now, y'all got to have some more stuff because I'm about to drop some bombs. Let's finish talking about the relationship, because I understand some people last week liked the penalty box.
What was the penalty box?
When you mess up and you put your significant other in the goddamn penalty box. I think the term was into the box, bitch. Penalty box. You know what I'm saying? For acting up. When you act up. And we need to really talk about the penalty box, not only in personal relationships, but we also need to talk about the penalty box when it comes to our community relationships, because there has to be a penalty box. There has to be consequences for you having fucked up behaviors and fucked up actions. And we got that going on in our community. Whether it's niggas, rumors of niggas sleeping with babies, whether you're a male or female, whether it's rumors of you doing inappropriate things or moving outside of your principles, we have to start dealing with that in the community, or everybody will see us as frauds.
So, matter of fact, that brings me to, hold on one second.
I'm cold. I made her think about sex. She wasn't even gonna bring it up. I ain't gonna charge you for that, Navita. I ain't gonna even charge you.
I'm gonna show y'all something, because there's a story in the news today that I saw, and it was very, very, very disturbing. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture for you guys. Maybe I won't be able to. But I'm sure some of you have probably seen it, where this young girl, the child, she was 7 years old, and she was on a Zoom video having class. The class goes to break, okay? And she's there with her, I don't know if it's her brother or cousin or what his name is. Hold on one second, because I found the image. I'm going to show y'all this guy. And so she's at home with him, and he's 18 years old. Okay. So as they go on a break, hold on one second. As they go on break, you know, they're supposed to disable your the camera. However,
oh my God,
the camera was not disabled on her end.
Oh my God, what happened? Oh my God.
He begins to make the little girl suck his private.
Stop! See, this is the shit I'm talking about. This is the shit I'm talking about.
Wow. This is the guy right here. 7-year-old girl, and he's 18 years old. He forget, and the teacher was like, oh, you know, and she's like, trying to get all the other kids who may have still been on, like, log off, you know, because he don't realize he forgot to log off the damn, the little girl didn't log off the damn Zoom so they could see him making her do this. 7-year-old. Now, this man right here, if that's what you want to call him, he needs to be killed. There's no rehabilitating a person, to me, that has an affinity towards prepubescent children. Because there's nothing. Oh, no, sorry, y'all. Sorry.
Well, we know the sound work.
Because it doesn't make any sense. There's nothing sexually attractive about a 7-year-old girl.
Obviously, it must be.
To him and his warped mind.
To his warped mind, but so he's not alone.
Exactly. And those people need to be dealt with.
See, and the issue is that most people know that there are no consequences that come directly from our community, family. This is the issue. We got people running around knowing that they could do shit in our community, be removed from the community for a little while by massa, put into one of the plantations, work his time off, and he comes out and changes his life. He's a Muslim now, and everything changed. He's a Christian now, and I'm like this, family. Where's the consequences for us? Right? Where's the fee? Where's the fine? Where's the punishment? Where's the missing fingers and shit like that? You know what I'm saying?
Or the missing dingalings or whatever.
Because we have to. If we don't protect ours, I ain't even gonna just say the children, because it's not just the children. We got grown-ass men running around punching women in the face.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I understand when a woman is acting masculine and shit, but running up, it ain't. If you're running up on a woman and punching her in the goddamn face, you know what I'm saying? That's something. What?
I seen a video where a young man, they was both in high school, and he ran up on the young lady, and she wasn't like interrogating him with her words. She may have said a couple of smart things, and she was about to walk off, and he just started whooping on her.
Because we deal with our emotions from what we was taught. See, because women act out. And what we have been trained, and what a lot of young men have been trained to be able to do, is to act out. And because they are acting out, of course, being males it's going to go to the physical.
And I watched a video with Dr. Umar today, and he quoted that 75%, which I'm very questionable of this figure, but he said 75% of homes in the African American community are single mother homes.
Mm.
And if that is true, even if it's 50%, we in trouble.
Because
we are raising a generation of ultra sensitive motherfucking men. Now, I had an incident today. I'm in a food group. You know, we have foodie talks and shit, and foodie posts. And I posted a picture of some steak. It wasn't one I was cooking, but it was just a picture. And people were talking about what cuts of steak they like and how they like it cooked. You know, foodie shit, right? Then here comes this dude, John. Well, first of all, that's his name. Okay. First of all, a real picture of a steak is what you should have posted. You know what I said to that motherfucker? Ma'am, you don't have to be catty. Okay? We just like, that's some catty ass women shit. You know what I'm saying? And we need to get that shit tight with these young men. They want to
They don't have to. They don't have to. Listen, they don't have to because there's no consequences, family. Other than the consequences that white people bring upon them, there are absolutely no consequences. Period. So why I got to change my behavior? I can do what the fuck I want. I can disappear for a little while, come back to the community, and y'all just assume that the white man handled it.
So
because the white man is your God.
So what should we do? Start stoning motherfuckers or something? What should we do?
Listen,
you say a penalty box. What does that look like?
A penalty box, like, for example, all right, I'm throwing you out the goddamn community. You need to be thrown out. You don't come to none of the events. You ain't allowed in none of our events.
Or like they do in the Nation of Islam. They silence a motherfucker.
Right. Oh, I mean, and you can't participate in shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or how about a fine? Since all you motherfuckers worship money anyway, nigga, I need $3,000. You don't come back, you don't fuck with us until you pay this shit in full. You know what I'm saying? And that's for the minor shit. For the major shit, then we might need a blood sacrifice, homie. You gonna cut your finger off, or are we gonna cut your finger off? You know what I'm saying? Because it's getting to a point now where it's getting to where anybody could do anything.
And it's okay.
And it's okay.
And it's okay.
Jesus will forgive. I ain't waiting for Jesus. I ain't got time to wait for Jesus. My community can't wait for Jesus. Some of you niggas been waiting for Jesus to come back for the last 3,000 years. My fault. That might be. Oh, that's African tradition. That's that old. Y'all been waiting for Jesus to come back for over 2,000 years. We need something to happen now until he get here.
You got to do something different. You got to do something different.
I know so. I'm hyped up right now.
I think we ought to awesome out the community. To me, I think
you just ostracize them from the community.
But the problem with that is, if you read some of our historical novels, when we ostracize and put people out, they usually went over there and got an army for it and brought it back and conquered. So we might not be able to afford to let them go. We might have to find a nice resting place for them.
No, because
someplace with pretty meadows and flowers where they won't be alone. Well, pine trees, and nobody can find them and bother them.
We could just, you know what I'm saying, X them out.
I think that
nice and deep.
I think that may be too nice.
Nice
and deep too.
Because if we give them the nice things, they're gonna continue.
Oh, y'all don't understand me.
I did.
All right, go ahead.
Listen to what I said. We need to find them a nice place with flowers.
Oh, okay.
Grass.
Okay, correct.
Pine trees.
Where they be pushing up days.
No, I ain't say that. Okay. What I'm saying is, some place where they could get deep. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where they could really, really possibly
deal
with their scene.
Well, because they do have some cultures that do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. And
here in America.
Yeah.
But all you have to do is make that shit known that this is what's going to happen. These are the results.
Because that's how the mafia operates.
That's right. So you can stop doing the shit that you're doing.
See, but I want to be clear, because when you say mafia, people only think of illegal organizations. There are cultures that deal with people that transgress against their culture in that way.
and they'll come up somewhere stinking. But look,
I didn't say that.
So you mentioned something about. Let me get into this a little bit.
Go ahead.
I don't want to be. So, are we waiting on vengeance is mine, saith the Lord? Are we supposed to wait for Jesus to say? Because look, what's that say? Jesus, get up, bro. They shooting kids up at the school. Tell them I'm working in mysterious ways.
I like that. That sounds like some nigga shit. Hey, somebody on the line. Okay. Somebody called in. We right here. Just click it right there. Come on. You here on Blunt Talk? Who this?
Who's that pretty lady in the background?
Ooh. Well, it ain't me. I ain't a lady.
There's two women here, but the two women here.
No, the one with the pretty lips, with the long hair.
You know what?
You talking about you, Bobby? Hey, man, hey, you know flirting with Bobby on this show, homie?
Well, I was watching her a couple of weeks ago, and she was singing, and that turned me on.
Oh, shit, Bobby. You done got to turn on from the burn on. What you got to say about that, Bobby?
Got to turn on from the burn on.
Okay.
Hey, she might sing at the end of the show, but this shit is running like Tina. What was Tina? Tina and who?
I can sing.
I'm right, goddammit. She ain't singing right now. And for you doing that, that's the 5. You get the 5. You get 5.
I mean, Tina. Are you available, baby?
Listen, I'm available.
Are you available? I can't hear you, baby.
Speaking to the microphone.
Not right now.
Thank you.
You ain't available right now, Bobby? You booed up?
Not right now. I'm booed up.
She booed up?
Yes,
I am. She booed up.
So, okay. How old are you?
I'm 52.
Okay.
Oh, you too old for Bobby, nigga.
You too old.
You too old. You disqualified.
You too old. You too old.
He said what?
You too old. Okay, Bobby on here getting some praise.
Hey man, what you call it?
Let me ask
What's
you
your question?
So let me ask that you on the phone caller trying to get some action from Bobby.
That's what I said. Call it try to break up the squad.
What do you think we should do about the people in the community that commit such transgressions like molesting children? What should be done as a community, not as far as the white man arrested them and locking up? Should black people do something as a community to these people, or is that enough that they went to the penitentiary?
No, you need to cut their damn penis off.
I agree. I agree. Okay, well, thank you for calling, caller. I don't know how to hang up. Thank you for calling.
I want you, Bobby. I want you, Bobby.
You want me?
With your sexy self.
Okay.
You got to speak up, Bobby.
Okay, you want me?
Hit me up. Hit me
okay,
up, Bobby.
What's your phone number?
Hey, now don't lie.
You said you got somebody, Bobby.
Show,
you said you got somebody, Bobby.
I said Bobby done turned to sin already. You just said you had somebody.
Did she try to get his number?
I mean,
come on.
All right, go and leave your number. Oh no, because they can see it on the screen. Don't do that. Don't. All right, so all right. Now, Carter, did you have anything else you wanted to hit on other than Bobby, nigga?
No, I just want to hit on Bobby. I just want to turn her ass out.
All right, we got somebody else on the line. I'm about to cut him off.
Well, yes, this is Cheryl Freedom waiting for y'all to send me the link, please.
Oh, baby, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Miss Freedom.
Make sure Bobby serenade me tonight.
We did not.
Okay.
Hey, Miss Bobby.
Hi.
You make a love connection?
Okay. Miss Bobby
Y'all
making
doing
love
too much.
connection.
Y'all doing
Show him your boobs, Bobby.
No.
Somebody can call in on the dating line.
Okay, we about to have a Blunt Talk date line.
Yeah, we got a Blunt Talk date line next week.
Send it to Freedom. The link. All right, it's already posted. It's already on your thing.
Because I won't be there.
Okay.
Man, family show. And
hold on.
another issue that we go. You got something to say about me?
No, I got no more to say.
All right.
Did you cut the phone off already?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't cut the phone off.
Cut the caller. I mean, did you hang up on the caller?
I didn't know. The caller hung up.
Okay, cool.
And also I got to change it because it shouldn't have came on like that. But anyway, it's kind of shocking and shit.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
But anyway, family. One of the things that we also need to talk about is, I mean, because like I said, we have to deal with people. We have to start dealing with some of these issues, and some of us going to have to hit it head on. You understand what I'm saying? Head on. You know what I'm saying? And
because some of these people might be your
relatives. They are relatives. There's no doubt about it. Some of them are relatives.
And some of your relatives got to motherfucking go if they doing shit like messing with kids, abusing women, doing those types of things.
Let's talk about abusing women.
Okay.
Now, under what case should a man put his hands on a woman? Should a man put a hand on a woman? What possible case should a man put his hands on a woman? Because I can think of a few, goddammit. I'm just saying.
I can too.
I can think of a few.
Well, I mean, if a woman puts her hands on a man, then he has a right to put his hands on her back.
But
the thing about it is, men are stronger than women, so you don't have to beat her like a man, because you can knock the shit out of her. Probably. Like I seen one chick, she was hitting on this dude, and he was like, "Leave me alone," and he just politely turned around and caught her chin and put her to sleep. There you go, over. Put the bitch to sleep.
Time out. Your whole idea of, goddamn, I'm not gonna ask you again because that was, that was a little bit much for me. You just talked about putting her to sleep. So it's like it's simple, like you just knock her. Look, she got her hands up like this. You just knock her out. What?
Yeah, then it's over with. You ain't have to beat the shit out of her.
Ladies, just keep your hands to yourself when
I'm
you
just
come
saying,
in.
but if you do put your hands on a man, I don't. I think he has a right to defend himself. Unless you're a big bitch and he a little dude, I think he could just take you out.
And there's some big women out here.
There's some big.
I went to the club the other day. I seen some bitches walking in there. Then I was kind of intimidated. I grabbed my beard tight just in case they wanted some problems. Right.
Or was they stud homies? Or
no, they was just big ass women, right? And it's like, yo, if I don't know you and you too big, you know what I'm saying?
Was they single?
I don't know. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo,
They might have took your whole private.
Wait, I mean, they might be able to rape you just for a little bit until I say no. Until I say no, you could, but when I say no, I mean no. All right, I'm just joking. But fellas, we got to monitor that shit, and we have to, in a sense, now. But this is my major issue. I don't like women going out looking for fights for men. I don't. That's what bothers me.
That's what women do. I sure could use a square. My cigarettes is all the way in Tibet. And see if there's a lighter on the table. That would be greatly appreciated. Sorry, y'all, for the slight smoke interruption. There go my neighbor there. I like her. She helped me out in a bad time because I was ready to kill the world. He look like he done had some. Is that his? Anyway,
sorry, y'all. Nobody can see the neighbor. What we talking about? You was about to tell somebody about something.
Sorry, y'all. That threw me off. All that action outside and jumping around and whatnot. I can't even remember what the hell else.
Some women like being beat.
You say some women like it. Do you know? Did you ever meet somebody? You got to speak up, Bobby.
Some women like being beat.
Have you ever met somebody that likes it?
Yeah, I met a whole lot of them.
How you know somebody likes
it? They try to be man, want to be a man. No, they ain't a man. And they try to be face up to a man, being face up to a man. You can't be a man.
I mean, does that mean they like it though? Because
they like it. And some women like being beat because they come in like, because they so attracted over a man and want to be all into like a man.
You ever met a woman that like you to put your hands on her, Lumala?
I think they got women out there like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they
think that's love.
That's love. What they used to.
Well, I know I had somebody, I'm not going to say in my family, that was like that, and she called me over because she said this dude was acting a fool and putting his hands on her. So I get over there and she doing everything out of the sun to get this nigga to hit her. everything under the sun. He trying to leave. Like, give me all my shit so I can go. She
grabbing him, pulling him back.
Shit.
Come on back in here.
I'm not giving it to you. Like, and he like, bitch, you better, he drawing this shit up. Like, bitch, you better give it to me. And I'm like, give him his shit before you hit your ass. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, I ain't giving it to him. I'm like, what the fuck? Do you want him to hit you some shit? And he was like, she liked that shit. He told me, he said she liked that shit.
Man, my man put his head.
Hey, and if you like that shit, family, don't pull your family into that shit.
Right.
Don't pull your family into that shit. Get diagnosed. Know whether you like that or not. Stop pulling unnecessary individuals into your bullshit. If you like that, if you think that that's part of a relationship, give her an ashtray, please. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get some help. And speaking of help, now, because this is the next piece I want to talk about, because all this ties in together. Y'all know, brother, I told you all over the place, but I just happened to run into some videos by this conscious brother by the name of Young Pharaoh.
I think he's a closet homosexual, but that's another day.
Damn. Okay, I'm not gonna go there. I don't know about that. But what I am seeing is some serious mental issues. But I just don't want to bring this conversation up about Young Pharaoh, but there is a lot of mental health issues in our community, and there's a lot of mental health issues in the so-called conscious community. And I can't figure why. I kind of know why, but it's kind of hard for me to deal with the why of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's just like church, Christianity, Islam, they attract crazy motherfuckers too. Then you have those radical Christians that be having snakes on the pulpit and somebody on the phone, somebody on the line.
Hold on.
Yes, peace, family.
Go ahead. Who that? Who this? And where you from?
Terrence.
How you doing, Terrence? Where you from?
West King. I'm from here. Well, I live here, but I'm a Michigan man.
Okay.
So I wanted to call in and kind of chime in. I wanted to go back to that first story that Navita brought up about that boy.
Yes.
I think I agree with you all when you say we need to do something about it within the community. I've seen numbers of videos where over in Africa, some Arab cultures, when they catch somebody that raped a woman or molested a child, they beat that ass in the street for all to see. And I'm reminded about that movie, I know y'all remember, called The Drop Squad.
Right.
Where the guys would go out and find these coons or black people that were assimilating white culture. We need to have something like that in the communities where we do our own policing. I definitely agree with that. And that dude, he's got whatever he's got coming. He got it coming when he get locked up. They're going to give it to him. And then, so I wanted to touch on that. And hitting women and all of that. I'll be 50 years old September 9th. Shout out to my Virgo Nation, Fly Virgo Nation in the building. Virgo season is upon us. And it's September Virgos, most importantly. So I wanted to just shout that out. But I think when it comes to violence, with dealing with each other, the main thing we have to do first is learn how to talk to each other. When we don't realize the words that we use cast spells when we say them, and that's what creates a lot of these problems.
True.
So a lot of it is on how we communicate. We don't know how to talk to one another. And it's just getting worse. It's elevating and escalating to levels that I've never seen in 50 years of my life. So I think it's important that excuse me, I like what you were talking about, and I am going to be donating because I watch you guys every week.
Well, we appreciate the support.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt. But I do like the fact that what you do in the community, and that's very important. I definitely admire that and want to encourage you keeping that up. But that's where we need to start. When we're talking to young people, I do this with my own children. My son is 23. And, when I talk to him, and my daughter will be 20 this year at the end of this month, I talk to them about that because that, to me, is where it starts, with your words.
Right, because words hold power. You can get the shit knocked out of you over some words.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just think about it like if we're having a disagreement, as soon as somebody injects a curse word in there, it changes the whole complex of the whole conversation. It turns it into something else. So, I just wanted to weigh in on that. I really dig what you guys are doing, and I appreciate it. And, man, keep it up. Keep it going.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hot Tim, come on back in here. You'll have to hang up, caller, because I don't know how to hang that shit up. And Hot Tim done walked off.
No, I just wanted to make sure I could hear the family out there could hear him. That was an excellent piece. Thank you for calling in.
So let me get this in real quick without further ado.
What? Oh, my God.
What's time for? 10 minutes of freedom. 10 minutes of freedom.
Go ahead, girl. She posted. 10 minutes of freedom.
Yeah, they sang it. Hey, y'all. Oh, it was like, they sing your song. I said they sang it. Thank you. I love you guys. How you doing, Miss Bobby? Getting your day on? What's up, Oh? What's up, big girl? Yeah. How you doing, Hot Tim?
Fine.
The Blood Talk crew. I just want to say, also, before I start, please, everybody, if you're listening, please donate, donate, DONATE to Blunt Talk, to the show. Vita, what's the information again? Where do they need to
You can go to $, capital G, capital N, capital J,
capital M,
capital M, EDIA on Cash App. That's $, G and J Media on Cash App.
Or you can also go to navita.gnj.media. That's Navita. Right. Go type it in. Because every Gye-Nyame member is responsible for a certain amount. Navita is pretty close, but she ain't got as many as me. People support
gnj.media.
Yep, .gnj.media, right.
All right, there you go.
There y'all go.
I wanted to touch on, it's funny, you guys, we're talking about the wolves in the family. And specifically, we're talking about, of course, the Black family. Can you hear me?
I want to make sure.
I got it. Yeah, we can hear it. You can see Mike. Go ahead.
She's
okay, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, we're talking about wolves in the family.
Right, right.
Vita and I, like she was saying, we're talking about the story about the 7-year-old girl that was caught. I don't want to say that here, but was caught performing a sexual act on her 18-year-old cousin, and stories throughout. And even growing up, one thing I can say about my ancestors who nurtured and raised me is that she told me all the secrets. I mean, you know how the elders used to whisper stuff when we were growing up, but it was like they wouldn't tell you who. You remember how they would say things when you go over certain people's house, like, don't be with them alone. Why?
Right.
You would ask why. Don't ask me, just do what I said. That was sort of telling us a story there. It was always things like, and you know how we all played, the kids played together and they stayed away from the adults. There was a reason for that too, because adults weren't supposed to come back where the kids were, and we didn't mingle with the adults. It was like this. I was watching a YouTuber Mr. Go Black to Africa. Brother is bad. Brother is awesome, and he was talking about how school is a safe place for a lot of these kids, a lot of our kids. Yes, that during the pandemic that a lot of things, a lot of things were revealed.
Came to light,
came to light. Also, I wanted to say that, do you guys notice, like, I don't want to say trend, but it's like this horrible thing with Black mothers murdering their children. I'm a big Black YouTuber, and I see stories every day. There was you guys hear about the aunt in Tampa who murdered her niece and nephew, and they found her. Yeah, they found the kids in the trunk of a car recently, and like stories like that. Yeah.
But you know what, Freedom? I might have heard that, But when I hear shit like that, I'm automatically thinking others. So now you saying this.
That's what I'm getting at. It's like now these stories are stories I would never hear about Black mothers or about Black fathers. I mean, years ago, I mean, you could count on it would definitely be the others. But now they are Black women. There was a story in Baltimore recently where a mother of three murdered her children. What's going on? I was when I first moved here to Dayton, I went to a rally, Racial Justice for Now, because they were trying to give this young lady the death penalty because she murdered her kids here in Dayton, Ohio. Took them out in the front yard. And to touch on what you said, Brother Hatim, I'm wondering, like, they can change your behavior. And it's like with the fools and it's like, what is going on? Because this woman literally took her kids out and shot them thinking that she got a message that they were evil. Young black woman. And so what is it? Is it something going on?
Yes.
With behavioral modification?
Yes. Well, yeah. And I think a lot of people are being exposed to, now, don't get me wrong, they're being exposed to their badass kids and they're having to sit with them for longer periods of time than they used to. We got to understand, because a lot of parents like, not my kids. No. That wasn't my kid. Then these kids stay home, and God will whisper to you.
But I mean, you can be stressed as a parent, but that doesn't mean you want to harm your children.
Well, I mean, you want to kill them. You might want to harm them.
Well, now also we got to remember. Look at the video games. Look at the food. Like you said, the social programming. See, they don't have the stamina or the resilience that we had to have. Many of us are only healthy now because our grandparents gave us some real goddamn food before we was introduced to all this McDonald's and shit. These kids came up on synthetic food, which produces synthetic behaviors, which creates synthetic relationships. My relationship with you is synthetic. So I could kill you, I could dispose of you, and possibly you might come back.
Well, also in the case of the young mother out of Baltimore, Vita, you and I talked about this. I mean, they were even reporting like it's really, it's like becoming really crazy in the city of Baltimore with all these Black mothers doing this. And Vita, you and I talked about that recently. You said something about there was this air there.
Yeah, it was Tariq Nasheed did the documentary. I forget which Hidden Colors it was, but Baltimore has a very high rate for also incest.
Right.
Incest. And it was a really big breeding ground during slavery for the big buck breaking and the different, they would make, and they would make the man sleep with the daughter or whatever. They just wanted to produce a more, stock, if you will, more product, if you will, to make them generate more money. So there was a lot of molestation, rape, and things that took place in Baltimore. And I remember it was Tariq Nasheed's documentary that they was almost saying if there was like this a spirit, if you will, that hung in Baltimore, and still to this day, which is producing those large numbers of things like incest and rape and murdering your children. And for those that don't understand the spirit, it's like an energy, a vibration. Because some of y'all be like, y'all too spirit.
There are such things as vibrations, and all of us have experienced them. So you can walk into places like, for example, mass hysteria. There was a show about this arrogant white doctor. I can't remember the name. He a crippled and a drug addict. But anyway, they did a show illustrating the idea of a mass psychosis where everybody started thinking they were getting a very deadly virus, and people started getting sick. And they found out that the person that it started with didn't have a virus at all. He had the bends because he went diving. But anyway, it was on a plane, and it was on a plane for a bunch of hours, and they saw this one man get sick, and somebody said, "Oh my God, that's that virus." And all of a sudden, everybody thought they had that virus. That's that, like, it's like that mass hysteria that's flowing through. And once people start buying into it, you know what I'm saying? You'd be surprised what happens. You can make yourself sick. You can make yourself mentally ill. You could think, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff going on in our community that we don't really deal with.
Absolutely. But let me say this. Let's talk about this, what nobody wants to talk about. Are we protecting the pedophiles in our family?
Yes, we are.
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 Always.
And it's good that you brought it up because there's going to be more people talking about this because part of the thing that keeps it dangerous is that we don't talk about that shit.
And we keep it in the family. And we're nurtured that way. We're nurtured that way. We're brought up that way. Don't tell family secrets. You better not be telling what's going on.
Yeah, that's right.
And which isn't bad if you deal with that shit.
Right, as long as you deal with that shit within the family.
But nothing's ever done.
You know, and many times, you know, there's, like you said, there's things that are never done. I know and then we have to really be conscious of protecting our children. Because I remember even being a young girl and grown-ass men who maybe were even friends of my mother's who would
I remember being a young girl and 15 and I was hit on by all the grown men. From the time I was 13 years old.
Right. And that's that's something that a lot, I mean,
when really they should have been nurturing, you know, like fathers to me. Like Babas in the community, seeing me as that way. And you see it all the time. And you're right, Vita. We really have to consciously start protecting our children on a whole nother level. Because
and check your motherfuckers. I mean, because the whole piece
is we do.
Nobody want to check them.
Nobody want to check. But you know what? I'm gonna take mine because I got some for that. Excuse my impression. I got some for them. I'm gonna take mine. I know there's something going on in my family, and just like I said I told my daughter the same thing. If anything happened to even the boys, it's so going on with the boys too.
Especially the boys. At one time, we were just thinking it was our daughters,
the girls, but they got a way of doing the sons. And for the boys, they mental. Too many boys out there is mental disturbed because something happened to them.
Because a
something happened to them.
Something happened to them.
Something happened to them. Because you know our elders used to say things like that to us, like somebody got to him. You know, when they were, you know, a young boy that might have feminine ways, overly feminine ways. We remember the elders saying things like that, whispering like that.
But now we can't even talk about that because then, you know what I'm saying?
We'll be considered homophobic.
Right. We can't, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how can I put it? For us to deal with stuff in our community, because this is why I keep telling people as far as the support, we have to develop support systems within our community where shit like that can't be handled. Because what a lot of people don't understand is that once I confront somebody about that, because people like nothing happens. Once I confront somebody about that as a man, if a motherfucker, because for example, a lot of these street niggas that a lot of y'all worship, right? Many motherfuckers. Yeah. Let me tell you, this is a true story. One of my sons was gay. I was riding with him down Short North when that shit was still notorious, and he was pointing at gangsters, letting me know who he had slept with. So we got a bunch of these closet
gangsters.
Tim, you hit it on the nose. I had a friend many years ago when I lived in LA, a male friend, and he would tell me, honey, I like men like you do. I said, you don't like men like I do. I like straight men that just like women. He said, I like straight men too, honey.
And they be getting them.
He said he dated all the drug dealers.
And they are even more dangerous because when their secret is found out, they will kill him and kill anybody else that know about it. So we got to understand that when we start talking about putting our men out there to do this type of shit, like for example, it'd be a little bit different for me, right? It'd be a little bit different for me if I know somebody gonna take care of my goddamn kids.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? We got to have people that we finance in our community that I don't mind sitting it down. We got people in our community.
What we need to do is have people in our community that abide by. This is when the no snitching shit should apply. Okay, motherfucker. Stop snitching. If you know that Brother Hatim or Sister Navita or Brother Lumala had to lay a motherfucker down that was a child molester, you be like, I ain't seen shit. That's when stop snitching is supposed to fucking apply.
Then you got guys out there. Then you got women out there sell their kids for sex.
Yeah.
Our black women selling our kids for sex.
It's like this.
They want that high.
Spirit is in the air over.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, before I go, you guys, I also just wanted to tell you guys that tying this in with all this, R. Kelly, you know, this was I think this was like the first week of trial. He passed out.
Did he?
I think on the third day.
He know he gone.
You know what? When I listened to, by the way, I listened to a video of 2 white assistants, females that worked with him for many years, really throughout his career. And it was quite interesting, everything that they said, and I believed them. And I went to look for that video today just to let you guys know about it and could not find it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because what they said was, I could see that. They said that most of those women were fans. And a lot of people that's on that bandwagon now had long-term affairs with him, lived with him, traveled with him, did all kinds of things, loved it until money really started running dry.
Yeah, right. To money, when now, so that's a whole nother side of it too. See, because it's like it's so crazy in our community because we are so our God is money. Some motherfuckers is doing anything for money. Anything for money.
And we'll do everything.
Right. And he had a young young man that testified the other day that
so what is he saying? That he raped him, or is he just saying they had a sexual relationship?
That's not what he's saying. That's what I'm not getting this. He's saying that it was consensual, but now that he feels like that he had to do that just to, get a record deal or be in the business. Well, I mean, really?
So he mad that he sold himself and
he didn't get nothing in the end.
That's what it is. He didn't get what a lot of people get in the end as far as a deal. And that's the same thing that ex-staffers were saying, that that's basically what it was for a lot of these people. And that Drea, they heard her testify that she was locked in and she was just like them and couldn't go anywhere. And they was like, that is certainly not true. They said when Barry Hankerson and R. Kelly split ways, Kelly was really, really feared Hankerson. And, and she also stated that, and that's why Drea, he wanted to make sure that wherever she went, she was okay, because she didn't want a bodyguard. They was like, she took that a whole nother level. She didn't fear him. And the staffer said that he had no control over his money.
None. We can see that because he broke his hell. He said
broke his hell. But do you know what he's
surprised that nigga ain't got a public defender. Do we got a public defender?
But that's what's interesting about this case, because they're claiming that he basically pimped them out. That's what they're claiming. He pimped them out to whomever and wherever. That's what. So it's just it's crazy. I listened to it this week, and guys, it's insane. Whoa. We really need to
do better,
and to even tie him up in this, thing of family secrets. He was abused as a kid himself.
That's true. By his sister.
So it's just really a sad
babysitters.
Terrence Scott said that he was molested by his 18-year-old babysitter, and he was 9.
See?
So it's happening. It's like
happening. It's real.
And sex is such a.
Listen, my dude told me that he had a babysitter, and he said he had to be 4 or 5, and she was about 17, and she was giving him oral sex.
My friend told
and
me
he was like 4 or 5 years old.
I bet a lot of men have
Say what, Bobby?
My friend told me the same thing. He was less by his babysitter when he was about like 10 or 11. He was less by. That's why he turned out to do the things in the street he was doing in the street.
Because we got we got young boys being abused both ways. We got young females being abused both ways, and we got it's almost like a whole generation or two of them that's been super exposed to all this.
You're right, brother. And let's not forget also grown black women, just like the gentleman said, having sex with the young boys, having sex with young men, black women. Yeah. That's never really talked about, because I know it used to be looked upon as something good for the man.
Right.
Yeah, because I know my dude, he saying like, he was like, and I used to love going over her house. I was like, with that, he's like, I know it was wrong now. He said, but when he was a kid, you know, he didn't look at it as abuse. He like, I'm about to go.
I don't think a lot of the young men look at it as abuse.
And that's that program. You know what I'm saying? That's that program. You know what I'm saying? Because some of us, if he came and he said, I don't like going over there. Why? Because she sucked my thing. Boy, what's wrong? Get your ass up and go over there. You know what I'm saying? We have to be honest about that shit, because that is the socialization.
You gotta talk
what you complaining about?
Tam Scott said he got the video of those 2 white ladies you talking about, by the way.
Oh, wow. Yes. You know what I'm talking about, Brother Terrence. Yes. I believe them, you guys. I do. It makes sense. If you listen to them, it makes sense.
I mean, I even seen where one of his members, which I can't find the video anymore, from public announcements said that they were lying. Them girls was lying. And he said the one girl, she followed him everywhere he motherfucking went.
Yes.
They were not held against their will. And he said he was interviewed for the Surviving R. Kelly documentary. And when his narrative didn't fit when his testimony didn't fit the narrative they were trying to spin, they cut his testimony out.
See, but then the question I got to ask is, why they want to get R. Kelly? It ain't like this nigga is Malcolm X. I always gotta ask that. Like, what's the angle?
Well, there is no angle. They just why they want to get my son. I mean, shit. Once they just he ended up having the Aaliyah shit, and then that, kind of went to the wayside, and then somebody.
We don't know who he made mad.
And he may not have made nobody mad. All it takes is some couple of women to make some accusations against a black man, and they may say, it depends on how they feeling that day. That's how you never know with this system. And they might have reported to somebody, it's like, we're gonna get this nigger. He got away before, and we're gonna get this nigger this time. So it could be. It doesn't even have to be a systematic type thing where they're trying to. Somebody on the line?
Yeah, somebody on the line. Hold on, Freedom. I think somebody called in and asked you a question.
Oh, okay.
What's going on, caller?
What's going on?
Hey, this is Terrence again. I just kind of wanted to chime in on this part right here. I saw that video too, Freedom. I just put the link in the comments. But going back a little bit, what y'all were just talking about with the molestation and the pedophilia, that's the one thing that doesn't get addressed about black men. Now, let me say this. I'm not condoning any misuse or abuse of little children of any kind. I have a daughter. I'll take flesh for mine. So let me say that. But here's the one thing that you have to realize and remember. R. Kelly was molested, him and his little brother, for 7 years by their older sister.
Right.
So a lot of these behaviors that we see, being played out come from somewhere. I was molested as a young boy by an 18-year-old girl, and I was 9 years old. I wore it as a badge for years. It wasn't until I had my own children that I realized what had happened to me. And I really think that that's something that was touched on briefly about Robert, and has never been addressed. It doesn't excuse him. And if he is guilty of these heinous crimes, he deserves every bit of punishment he gets, and I'm a
Absolutely.
big, huge R. Kelly fan.
I agree.
But those two women that were on that video that Tasha K, of all people, interviewed were not lying. They were telling the truth about his wife, about the other girls. And then one thing never made sense to me. How Robert never had time. If he's on the road overseas touring, when does he have time to lock you down and make sure you locked in the room? And how can you can't leave when he ain't there? So those things didn't make sense, but I think we have to
I'm so
address the little black boys that get molested. Black boys are the easiest to be targeted because nobody looks at it like that. Like, black boys get molested too, and they grow up to be a lot of times victimized predators, and that has to be addressed. I just wanted to add that. R. Kelly was molested from 7 years old to 14. And so when he's in the church, he's in the bedroom at home sucking on his sister. So when he goes to church, he's in his mind, that's what you do. That's how you do it. It honestly, it caused me to be sexually promiscuous for a long time because I looked at it as a badge of honor. But it is a very serious thing that people need to address. And I'm going to always support black men. I advocate for black men, except if you're abusing young people. So I just wanted to weigh in on that. That's good shit, Freedom. Good shit.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Terrence. And with that being said, guys, this is your 10 minutes of freedom.
10 minutes of freedom. 10 minutes of freedom. 10 minutes of freedom.
Donate, guys.
All right, family. So now let's get back, because a lot of this stuff centers around the undiagnosed mental illnesses in our community.
Yes.
We are sick. We haven't dealt with past traumas, and what people don't really understand is trauma is passed from generation to generation.
Right.
And until we start addressing it, right? Because in the church they call them demons, but their energies, their mind states that we're carrying, and we've been carrying for a very long time.
Psychiatrists or psychologists say that molestation is the gift that, for lack of a better term, but it's the gift that keeps on giving. That it is when someone usually who is abusing children, they have been experienced it as well. So we have to nip it in the bud, and especially because we talk a lot, like the caller Terrence said, about the young ladies who this is happening to, but it's happening to a plethora of, because me and Bobby just sat here and told you that we know of people that have told us the babysitter. And I've had several men tell me.
I know young men.
I know young men have told me the babysitter. Several of my boyfriends have told me.
And you know what? When it happens to the babysitter, it has happened to the babysitter.
Right.
And that's what Terrence was pointing out.
Yeah, it happened to the babysitter. You know, I was a part of a Christian organization at one time, and the pastor of the church wanted to talk about this, but with all these families that they have in the church,
they're like, hell no.
They didn't want him to speak on that.
What?
That's right.
Wow. They didn't want him to speak on
the congregation didn't want him to speak on that.
Wow.
The world wasn't at that time. The world wasn't ready
because he exposes
everybody.
Everybody.
The world was not ready for that. Right now is the time for us to really start dealing with this. But then we're gonna run into some major issues and some major roadblocks. This is why we have to go on and build our own media. Because the whole piece is I'm not going to be quieted by some bullshit because I want to speak on it. Because I'm like this, you can choose how to live your life how you want, but you don't have the right to infringe and push your lifestyle on my babies at all.
And that's one thing too. I think we need to remember after we've heard all these babysitter stories, because I've heard every boyfriend I know that I've had, I can probably 95% of them, if not large, have told me a babysitter incident.
Turn them out.
You even with the young man with the little girl that we just talked about, I'm sure he was probably babysitting. So something that I advocate for and stop letting these older kids babysit these young children. Just stop it.
But I ain't got no money, Navita. Who gonna take care of the kids? That's all I got.
No, well, that's why we need to start getting back to community.
Back to tribe.
So that back to tribe, so that we can have elders in the community. Not to say that elders don't do things, but
they need to be examined too.
They need to be examined too. You know, but if you know, like for example, with my grandson, he went to daycare briefly in certain instances during the day when I was working. But as far as like if his mama or his daddy was going somewhere, there was no babysitter that had to come in or no older cousin. You bring him to me. I never let anybody babysit my grandson ever.
When you go home, when you go pick your child up from daycare, wherever, check your child.
Yeah.
Check. If whoever got your child, you need to check them because they might not be for the right thing to do.
And you may think, but you should always we have to ask the hard questions.
You paying money to get your child molested.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. That's deep.
Don't no child want to be molested. You know why? That messed up their childhood.
Yes, it does.
It messed up their lifetime. When they get ready to get married to somebody, they're gonna ask them, "Is you still a virgin? Is you still a virgin?" That would mess up their childhood for real.
Now I agree with Bobby. It messed up their childhood, but Bobby, I don't think a lot of people looking for virgins no more.
No, ain't nobody looking for no virgins no more.
But I feel you. I understand.
I feel you never. And I'm gonna talk about that. You never know. You don't gotta mean. You never know who been messed with.
We need to get back to that. We need to get back to that whole both of them virgins. You know what I'm saying? We done allowed it to move too far for the men, and now it done bled over into the women.
And we need to start
cutting off
these messages that are sent through the media. We need to turn off these videos. We need to turn off these award shows that our kids may sit with you and watch. All that sexualization all over the place. We need to monitor goddamn YouTube videos they watch all day. We need to be monitoring all of that stuff.
And somebody out there that's looking for a business, this might be the one. You know what I'm saying? If you come up with a solution for this shit, because we all see all of us here and everybody that's speaking right now that has been on this show in some form or fashion has been affected by molestation.
Yes.
Whether it happened directly to us or it happened to somebody close to us or somebody that we was in an intimate relationship with. So now if it's happening to 100% of the people here, how much is it happening in your household? How much is it happening to your cousin? How much is it going on at your family reunion that y'all not talking about? Everybody whispering and laughing about that crazy uncle or aunt
when he come around.
Yeah.
You know,
right. Because I got an uncle in my family that has he's special needs, but he has the proclivity to do some. I told him don't even have me over if that motherfucker's there and my grandson is with me, because if that motherfucker get up in the middle of the night and try to touch my grandson, I'm pulling out my motherfucking 9 and I'm taking him out. So if you want to see him breathe another day, then you don't need to have me around him if my grandson is with me. I'm just not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that I'm not going to put him in that motherfucking risk. But, it's like the family kind of act like, and he is retarded or whatever you call it. And he may not understand some of the things that he does because he's severely fucked up or whatever. But, goddamn it, we people need to be honest in my family. Like, something wrong with that motherfucker. He'll fuck with your kids or you or whatever. But we want to act like, but that motherfucker tried to kill me before. And then, it's like,
for real?
For real. And then motherfuckers is like acting like I'm something wrong with me because I won't be around this motherfucker.
He only tried to kill you, Navita.
And something had to happen. Something had
Is that how they address you?
Yeah.
The only
don't say that, but they be like,
something had to
you
have
don't
happened
have
to
to
him.
act like that.
But I used to.
He just retarded.
Yeah, but something had to
But
happen
I used
to
to
him.
watch. I used to watch my ancestors.
Want to have sex with every fucking body.
But you know, look, I used to watch my. I used to. I was 13 years old. I used to watch my uncle. I mean, I hate to say it, my uncle. I'm gonna come out and say it, my uncle, to last my older sister.
See,
my older sister.
Well, what happened to him? Did they do anything to him?
Did they do anything to him? They didn't believe what we were saying. They
didn't believe it.
They didn't believe it. But I believe it because I said I got something for it. Like I said, keep on going up in that, doing it to my sister. And I know. But now my sister, I don't know if my sister's in a state of mind or whatever. But I don't care if she can hear this. I mean, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm not scared to talk about it. Let somebody say that's somebody in my family. If I found out about it, shoot, that stuff really hurts.
It does.
It really hurts.
It really hurts when it comes out and then you don't believe it.
Then they say they drunk. I don't got drunk. No, they ain't got to make a difference because they drunk. They still in the right state of mind. I wouldn't care. They was drunk or whatever. You still don't mess with no baby.
Right.
Well, nobody in the family. You don't mess with, shoot. They ain't gonna mess with no grown woman. You gonna mess with a baby and turn them out. That's wrong.
That's wrong. Definitely wrong. Definitely wrong. So,
well, we went deep tonight.
We still ain't even hit young Pharaoh. I ain't hit the mental illness, but we did kind of hit mental illness. And I think it was a good show because I think somebody out there might have needed this. I think this is why it kind of popped up like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have to start having these conversations so that we can really start building because we really need to build family. A healthy tribe provides the place for a healthy family. Mm-hmm. See, because families by themselves, it's hard for them to deal with this shit. This is why you got to have a tribe. So you can have somebody from the outside come in and help you clean up, if you know what I mean. I'm just saying.
There's something today before we go. I was watching Umar and he was talking with this lady and he and this brother, and they just could not understand what he was trying to say. And they were talking about single mothers raising children. And Umar was saying that Terrence said, "Thank you for sharing your story, Bobby. You're exceptionally brave and you are a warrior. Absolute respect and always sending healing spirit energy to you." Yeah. It's a shame. Yeah, it is. It is. And it's damn, that just threw me off what I was saying.
You're talking about Dr. Umar.
Oh yeah, so
he
was saying, and they were saying, where they blame the single parent, for not raising their children correctly. And he was saying, I don't fully blame the single parent because the community also plays a part.
Has to.
And then they were like, no, it ain't the community's responsibility to help. Bullshit. Yeah, and he kept saying, that's your individualism shit you talking is Eurocentric. That's not our culture. He said, she said, well, I don't see how the community is responsible and this mother isn't. He's like, the single mother is partially responsible, but we have to realize that when we don't have community that is standing up, he said, what is this woman does? What is she supposed to do when the bills is due and she got to take an extra shift to pay the electric and pay this and that? So now she got to leave these kids by themselves to watch themselves. Where's the community that's supposed to be her backup when she can't be there?
Where's the community teach her how to have a relationship?
And he talked about that as well. Where is the
turn down your mic. Turn on your mic. We got a caller. But go ahead and finish.
But he talked about that too, as far as
turn down your mic. Go ahead. We can't silence it right now.
So he talked about I think they hung up. That's not. They talked about how the community. He talked about how the community is supposed to be there when it's time for her to date. The community and the elders are supposed to vet these mates that she dates. And the man that she's supposed to marry is supposed to be vetted by the community so that we can stop having so many cases of single mother syndrome. And the community is not taking a part in that whole process.
But these
two motherfuckers Could not understand that.
Well, now,
but let me say this real quick, because me and Freedom talk about this, and I'm gonna lead into this because we're getting down to the hour. We started a little bit late, but this is the thing. And I'm ready to, like I said, I work with young black folks, but I do feel like black people are too far gone, and black people are just white people in dark more melanin in their skin. That's all black people are anymore, predominantly. They think so much like the white man that they could not even understand what Umar was saying, and they was coming at his neck for saying it.
Right.
So you know what? I ain't gonna argue with these motherfuckers gone ass niggas no more. I don't even want to be a community activist like that. I want to be a community activist for the younger generation, so I can try to get with them and help their mindsets be changed. But these motherfuckers that is my age in their 30s, you know what I'm saying? Even 25, these motherfuckers is so white that they think you crazy when you acting black.
Yeah, you are. I mean, really, you are. You crazy.
There is no longer. I mean, you turn on the TV, just like Freedom was saying, and you hear about these things on the news, and we used to always be like, there must be a white thing.
But it is. So what you said, it is a white thing.
Yeah, it is. We always thought it was somebody white, but we just act just like it. We act just like it when it comes. I seen a black woman on the news the other day, dog licking her all in the motherfucking mouth. Wow. You know what I'm saying? I see, black people who carry their dogs like white people carry their dogs.
Oh, ain't that crazy?
You know what I'm saying?
And little purses.
Little purses and shit. That was always the white thing. And then I see white people who not only sleep with their dogs. I seen a white lady she was eating, and she took a bit of food off the table and gave it to the dog, and then she came back up and ate again.
With the same
fork. She gave it in the dog's mouth. Now, this is something that not just Africans, but Native American Indians had to stop them motherfuckers from doing when they came to this country. Because they were the ones who were bringing all this disease and shit because they were so in such close proximity with their animals. And I believe, because they even said COVID can affect dogs and shit like that. These motherfuckers really be the ones bringing these diseases and shit, because now they back into their old culture of being in such proximity with their animals. I remember in the book called The First Peoples that it was about the Native American and their encounters with white folks when they came here. And white people were sleeping in the same quarters as their animals, and the Native Americans had to stop them from doing that. And it was causing a lot of disease. And guess what? We back there. We back there again. And I think that there's a lot of problems with diseases because I think motherfuckers probably fucking the animals.
And I also think that because of with all of this trauma of molestation and all this kind of stuff and keeping quiet about it, that's what white folks do. They keep quiet about it. They're having family conversations about it, or either communal conversations about it. They keep quiet.
Not only have they kept quiet about it, they condoned it a lot. Because even if you look at the Boy Scouts, for example, and they just got this big lawsuit, but this shit has been going on since the initiation of the fucking Boy Scouts. Matter of fact, they found out one of the founders of a Boy Scout was a known fucking convicted pedophile. Okay, and this shit has went on and on. The priests in the church,
the white priests in the Catholic churches,
they just cover it up. Why do they so easily cover it up? Because they motherfuckers do it too. And if you go all the way back to ancient times and you look at their Greek gods, they had animal lovers, they had boy on boy lovers. That stuff has always been their thing. So it was like you said, they didn't discuss it. It wasn't really, they allowed it. They even had a thing called pedestry.
And we copied the same goddamn.
Now we copy the same shit.
We copy the same shit.
We copy the same. Integration equals assimilation.
Right. Yeah. Right. And we start taking on their culture. And this is why, like I said, thank you. Welcome to the club. I don't argue and debate with motherfuckers no more like that. I ain't got time. You know what I'm saying? If you are where you are, and I'm very happy for you. But stay the fuck away from me. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'll change your mind by the works that we do, by some of the stuff that we do. I ain't got time to be debating and arguing with you. Absolutely. Somebody else could do that. Somebody younger could do that. I did
even black women have bought into the whole sexual freedom thing is a form of empowerment, meaning that if you got, as my dude say, fucking out of both drawstrings, you are just being empowered. But we always knew, as Freedom has said, her I think it was her grandmother who told her, a white woman gonna get her some dick. She gonna get her dick. Yeah. And she don't give a fuck. And when we was in school, the white girls was fucking and sucking, and the black guys wanted to go with the white girls because they was sucking dicks and shit.
It was guaranteed, huh?
It was a guaranteed suck going on. A guaranteed sucker. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It was a guaranteed sucker. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I just watched what is that show with 50 Cent? Kanan, Raising Kanan. No, The Shy was on Raising Kanan. The Shy. And these young black boys, they took them to a college tour. And the white girls was all fascinated because they seen the black boys come to the school. And one was in the bus, on the back of the bus, and she went on down on his ass. You know, and now
he going to that school.
He going to that school. And so I say that to say, you know, that was always something we used to say. Even if you look at the movie Malcolm X, and when his girlfriend, she wasn't putting out like the white girl was, and she, you know, and the white girl was on him strong, you know what I'm saying? The black girl, she was a good girl, so to speak. That's just how we held ourselves back then. And then now we bought into their version of how sex is supposed to be. Yeah. Just fuck anything.
Yeah. Right.
If it feels good, do it. We got to bring it back, y'all, because we off the hook out this motherfucker.
Off the hook.
We is off the hook.
And our children
every time God try to call us, it's a busy signal.
Say that again.
And our children are paying for it.
Yes. Yeah. Our children are paying for it because they seeing all of this. You know, I'm always having to have talks with my grandson.
Every time the awards come on TV, you see these goddamn, I don't watch it, but I know I see it. I've saw it before. These white women and all this skimpy ass shit, and we got our children. We got our children sitting there watching that shit too.
Yeah,
and the black women are in it just as much as the white.
They wear all that feminine stuff. They want to short every traction. The white people doing, not black girls doing the same thing. They want to show it all and let it all hang out.
Let it all hang out.
Shoot. I'm trying to teach my grandkids right. I said, you just don't live with anybody.
You just don't lay with anybody, man. We talk about that energy shit, man. You just don't lay with anybody. You know what I'm saying? You fuck around, and you know I'm an empath, so I can't. I gotta be. Don't become. What is it? Don't be something. Be careful.
Yeah.
Don't be sorry. Be careful.
Be careful right. Careful what you get.
Because you fuck around, take more than just you know, you might not take a baby away from the motherfucker, but you might take some other shit with you.
Yeah,
and you're gonna create some shit too.
You're gonna create some shit.
I'm gonna tell sit here and tell y'all. I'm gonna sit here and tell y'all. I really met somebody I know, and they called me 15 years from now. 15 years ago. I met this guy. I don't know if he's a sex predator or what. I don't think he is. He claims he still don't love me. But I don't know if I'm going to fall for this. I'm just going to see. Because, baby, ain't no sex with what's called in here. Because I ain't trying to catch nothing.
Yeah.
He want to come. He want to. I said, you know what? I learned my lesson. I really did. Learn my lesson. Messing with somebody that I thought I really cared about. But I'm back to my senses now.
You back to your senses now?
Yeah, I was gone for a minute.
That sounds like a song.
That sounds like okay.
So you know, and well, I hope that works out for you, Bobby. Where you live at?
You live in Cleveland.
He live in Cleveland.
You about to come here?
You gonna come? Don't let me be over here.
Don't come on no show day. God damn it!
Don't let me be over here and I be here.
No, you're not gonna hear that. I already ran it down to him. He talking about what he said to me. He said, "What he said to me? You ready to get married? Who? I'm already married. I mean, in the start of all, I know that you lost your wife, whatever." And
Freedom said she was the one that thanks Terrence for sharing his story because she meant that's what she was meant to. And she thanked you. That's her. And but she also wanted to thank Bobby for sharing her story as well. Salute.
Thank you, Freedom.
Okay.
She got aliases and shit.
No, her name is Sherry.
Sherry. Her name is Sherry too.
That's her name.
Oh,
Cheryl Freedom Johnson.
Cheryl Freedom.
That's Bruton.
This is free.
Okay, well that's her.
Yeah.
Her married name was Bruton.
Okay.
That's she had that account when she was married.
This
So.
is free.
Mhm.
All right.
So anyway,
one more.
Okay. Did you read it?
Yeah. Well,
as a people, we are not taught about science aspects of sexual energy exchange. That is the issue, lack of knowledge. Right. So we got to remember that sexual energy exchange.
That's nice there, Terrence Scott.
Terrence think he a bowler sexual energy exchange. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be conscious of that. And, sometimes we even say things like, well, we want our young men to, what is the word? Experience, get it out their system when they're young, so they won't want to do that when they get married or whatever.
Once
get it out your system. But I think we need to stop telling motherfuckers that go fuck everybody that you want to and get it out of your system while you're young. And I don't think you should, because what we need to be teaching motherfuckers, be disciplined about your dick. Dick discipline.
Yeah, dick and everything else.
Dick discipline. You dig? Did you have dick discipline?
I was forced to have dick discipline.
What you mean?
I was dark skinned at one time when it wasn't popular to be.
Did you have dick discipline?
No, that light skinned motherfuckers.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't. Well, there was times when I really, really did. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And there were times that I didn't. But most of the time,
nigga, did you have dick discipline or not?
But most of the time in my adult age, I was pretty.
Cool. What you consider?
Well, we talking about adult. Okay, but we talking about What about?
What's the adult age?
All the way through high school.
You had dick discipline.
You had dick discipline in high school?
Yeah.
How about college?
Did you look like didn't you look like Jonathan?
No, Jonathan looked like me.
Well, Jonathan fine as fuck here, so
but see, before how old you be when you be like 16 years old?
That's high school age.
That's high school.
Yeah.
So for the first part of my 16 years, 17 years, I was
you let loose.
He was disciplined.
Well, the people who I was hanging around with.
Would you stop? Was you fucking around?
Let him finish. So what the people?
The people who I was hanging around with were wild. The girls were wild, and I had sex.
Okay, that's all we wanted to know.
So they wanted it, and you gave it.
Yeah.
So you weren't disciplined.
I wasn't disciplined then, but then when I graduated from high school and all of that kind of stuff, I got disciplined.
So you was disciplined in the Marines?
Yes.
Outside of boot camp, because in boot camp you wouldn't get no pussy.
Yes.
Outside of boot camp.
Yes.
On the weekends when they let y'all out, on your AIT and all that.
We ain't let you out.
They ain't let you out. Okay, cool.
No, I ain't do nothing.
After you got out.
I ain't do nothing.
Okay, well there you go.
But when
I'm getting a lie detector because I sense some untruth here.
But when I was like,
you stuttering
shit. Let him finish. Go ahead.
Look at he got a count.
He's thinking.
I'm counting because I got to get the time right.
Okay, all right, cool. Let's
so
get
when
the
I
time
was
right.
when I was like 22.
I
did.
You fell off the wagon again.
No, I had a girlfriend.
Okay.
I got a girlfriend.
You got it in there.
I got it in all the
time. Now are we talking about that?
No, we're talking about different people.
Oh, I ain't never did no whole bunch of people in the whole.
Okay, well I would never like that either.
So you never
I never had.
I'm tell you when I was
even in high school you was.
I'm tell you when I got about 20 something, I started breaking it down. When I started partying.
You was breaking it down. What's breaking down?
I went to a bar one night and I was in there about the script.
You was about to strip.
Showing it. Then I had some guys say, well, it's a birthday party.
You got to speak up.
Sweetie. Okay, I had some guys that said it's a birthday party. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And they want you to put on your birthday suit.
No, I am. Come on, cousins. All my cousins, y'all going to follow me to this birthday party. They follow me to the birthday. You know what happened to me?
Wow.
I was in the wrong place at the wrong time with these niggas. They all tried to bait me.
What?
They all was all black too. And there wasn't no white. It was all black. They said, you can work your body where you work in that party. You can work it with us. I was so scared, I didn't know what to do. And plus, I was on my peer, too.
Oh, thank God.
They still was going to rape me.
Oh, I'm sorry. How did you escape?
The lady next door, she was old, and she heard me screaming and hollering. And she called 911. Now, one dude got to me. He tried to put it in on my mom. When the police came, in the door, and they beating the door, and they came in. I went to the hospital, and they took and checked me, make sure that I was nothing wrong, all that. But they was gonna run and turn on me. See, that's why I don't like it. You can't trust everybody.
You can't.
I'm black, and make it so bad. Our black brothers. Right. It was wrong.
We talk about the. We talk about the molestation.
Sex in my early days, I ain't even ejaculated in a woman.
Okay.
I didn't even do that. First time I felt that shit, I took it out and ran.
What you mean you took it out and ran? I heard the first time you ejaculated, you took it out and ran.
I said before I ejaculated, I had to, I started getting the feeling, right?
Right.
I'm like, oh.
That's discipline, brother.
No,
I can't do that.
He was scared. I wasn't scared. No, I had a guy friend tell me that the first time he ejaculated with a woman, it was the first time he had sex, and it was somebody I'm still friends with to this day. But he said that when it happened for him, he was like, and he couldn't believe it. And he was very young. He was like, the girl was a little bit older than him, but he was like, "You broke it." And he said he ran home. And he was like, "I'm gonna get in trouble because you broke my penis and broke my dick." And then he said when he went home and he ran in his room and shit, and he just looked at it like, "Is it going? Is it broke?" And he didn't see nothing wrong with it, so he's like, "Okay, I ain't gonna say nothing to my parents about it." So dang, so I think that's a similar experience that young men have when they have their first ejaculation situation.
I ran and told my older friend. I was like, get ready to do that, and I just ran. He said you get ready to ejaculate. Right. But I'm glad. Sometimes you got to be glad that those things don't happen, because if you don't know what the hell you're doing, and she don't know what the hell she's doing, that could be a fucking baby.
Okay.
In a lot of cases, that is.
Look, I always thought it was a kiss. I never thought it was some sex. Come on, I also on TV looking at them whiteys on TV kissing. I said, on TV making these babies.
And I wasn't ready to take care of no.
Sure, I thought it was a kiss. It wasn't going on.
I never liked kissing like that. Tongue kissing anyway. I kissed like this for years.
I always thought you make a baby by kissing.
I never knew that.
I did. I never know. My mom, grandma, they told me about something until I started my period. I said, until I started my period when I was 13. When I got in school and I started my period, I said, "What is this? What is this down here?" They never told me that, about my grandparents. Never would tell me until I got 13. I started my period.
So
you gotta have that talk.
Now, exactly, and that's kind of what homeboy was talking about. We don't talk at all about it, and that's one of the things that that's one of the powers that was definitely taken away from us.
So that's what we need a tribe for. I'm gonna have to call on my tribe. To have that follow mine too. Once you attain true knowledge of yourself is when the dick discipline kicks in.
It's still hard.
It's
still hard.
All right, well, we're going to roll on out of here. It is time to go. We have done our hour of power.
You broke it. It's time to come.
Yeah, he thought she broke the motherfucker. He was like, "You broke it."
I know the feeling.
And he ran home. And you know what? And the thing about it is, to me, I'm noticing
it was the best break I ever had.
That a lot of these young men lose their virginity to these older girls, and it's a lot of times it's a lot of the young girls that are the predators.
Oh man, listen. Listen.
And sometimes
I got older. My God. These little girls, I be telling some young ladies, I said, "I'm so glad you are a female, because if you was a male, you would be a motherfucking rapist. Because they are aggressive as hell and they can't stand the word no on anything. Anything.
So we'll be back next week, y'all.
Don't forget to donate. Don't forget to donate.
And if you want to join us at Gye-Nyame and help us out with the youth.
If you want us to advertise for y'all,
we do fabulous commercials here, and for a very affordable price. And as the numbers grow, you can grow with us. You understand? So thank you for joining us. Share the video. Make sure, this is something else too. If you're on YouTube watching, make sure you like the video. I guess that's a big thing. You have to like the video. And people be viewing, but they don't be liking. And I tell myself I've had to get in the habit of liking the video. So like the video if you're tuning in on YouTube. Like the video. Like the video. Like the video. We need you to like it. And we will see y'all next week. Same black time.
Same black channel.
You
The
guys.
show will be rebroadcast tomorrow at 12 noon. 12 noon on all of our networks.
And we need to get some videos if you can. You ain't got no videos of the young boys on here nowhere, do you?
No, I got some.
Load up some of them for us. And thank you for joining us. This is a Gye-Nyame journey.